My name is Abhipreeti Chauhan, an accessibility analyst for Google Play. And in this episode, we are going to discuss fixing color contrast issues in PLR. So, what is color contrast ratio? Color contrast ratio is the difference between the lightness of the foreground and the background colors. Although having a cool design for your app is good, it is not particularly useful if your users cannot read the content. According to the WCAG recommendations, contrast ratios should be used when designing readable interfaces for different vision abilities. For example, for normal text, the minimum ratio is 4.5:1. For large-scale text, the minimum ratio is 3:1. And for user interface components and graphical objects, such as icons and graphs, the minimum ratio is 3:1. Although, please note, these ratios do not apply to incidental text such as inactive controls, logotypes, or purely decorative text. Let me show you two examples. In the first failing example, we can see the large text, normal text, and the non-text element do not pass the check due to low contrast ratio. But in the second passing example, the large text, normal text, and non-text elements pass the check as the contrast ratio is high. The text readability is good and clear. Here are some of the benefits of using a good color contrast ratio. It can help to improve readability and comprehension. It can reduce eye strain and fatigue. It can make it easier to see important information on a screen. It can be helpful for people with low vision and color blindness. For example, take a look at this image on the left. You can see how difficult it is to read the numbers within the circles when the color ratio is so low, particularly these two which are barely visible. Everyone benefits from contrast. Good contrast helps everybody read the text and differentiate visual elements. What is difficult to read for a sighted user may be unreadable for a user with contrast sensitivity due to low vision or color blindness. And don't forget, color contrast ratio needs to be readable in the dark theme also. If you're not sure where to begin, don't worry. The pre-launch report can help you identify issues. You can also go and check the previous video. What is PLR and how can it help to create accessible apps? For identifying low contrast issues, go to the Accessibility tab in the pre-launch report details page. Here it displays the number of unique accessibility issues with screenshots into 4 categories. One of them is low contrast. Clicking on a screenshot cluster shows more details on each issue with specification of device, path of the element, recommendation on how to fix the issue, and number of places the issue is occurring. These findings and recommendations can be used to track down the accessibility issues and fix them. You can re-trigger a new run of pre-launch report by uploading a fresh APK after fixing the issues and confirming that the findings do not reappear. However, please keep in mind that like all automated accessibility testing, this is meant to complement and not replace manual testing with the real users with a variety of accessibility needs. Thanks for watching and hit subscribe to get notified about future accessibility videos.